Welcome to Bills Nation Daily, your ultimate daily dose of everything Buffalo Bills. Hit that subscribe button and join the most passionate Bills fans as we break down all the latest news, highlights, and game analysis. Go Bills! Christian Wilkerson's journey with the Buffalo Bills this offseason and training camp has been one of those under-the-radar stories that only hardcore fans and insiders really pick up on at first. But as the practices have unfolded, it's clear this player might just be forcing his way into a more significant role than anyone expected. Signing quietly as a free agent during the middle of the spring OTAs, Wilkerson stepped into one of the most crowded wide receiver rooms in the NFL. The Bills' receiving core already included names like Elijah Moore, a former second-round pick of the New York Jets who was expected to hold down the fifth wideout spot, Tyrell Shavers, a familiar face from the Bills' practice squad for the last 2 years, Laviska Shenault, who arrived as a new addition, and Caden Prather, a seventh-round rookie trying to make an impression. Despite the depth and competition, Wilkerson has managed to carve out an increasing amount of reps during camp. The key factor here has been the injury bug that has relentlessly hit Buffalo's receivers early on. This unfortunate circumstance opened the door for Wilkerson to take more snaps with the first team than he might have otherwise earned purely on the depth chart. With this opportunity, he didn't hesitate. He showcased solid hands, precise route running, and a willingness to make plays not just on offense, but also on special teams, an area the Bills are always eager to strengthen with versatile players. Offensive coordinator Joe Brady expressed clear enthusiasm about what Wilkerson brought to the table. He noted how the young wideout has taken advantage of the increased reps and made the most of his chances. That kind of endorsement from a coach who oversees one of the league's most dynamic offenses is not something you hear lightly. It speaks volumes about Wilkerson's preparedness, attitude, and ability to absorb the playbook quickly. Meanwhile, with Khalil Shakir and Curtis Samuel sidelined as they work through their recoveries, Wilkerson has climbed the depth chart, moving ahead of some competitors who either missed practice time or struggled to find consistency. Shenault and Prather, for instance, have both dealt with injuries, limiting their ability to compete fully. Prather, dealing with a hamstring strain, remains sidelined, while Shenault has also had his share of time off. This attrition in the receiving group gave Wilkerson a chance not only to stay on the field, but to stand out during scrimmages and drills. General Manager Brandon Beane weighed in as well, highlighting how Wilkerson's confidence and quick grasp of the system have made a significant impression. The fact that he arrived late in the offseason and still managed to learn the offense so quickly is impressive. Beane mentioned that Wilkerson stepped into the Bills' environment with no fear, absorbed the playbook rapidly, and became fun to watch, a rare combination that hints at a player with not only talent, but also the mental sharpness and poise needed at this level. The excitement surrounding Wilkerson culminated during the team's return of the blue and red practice held at Highmark Stadium in front of fans. There, he earned audible reactions with some well-executed catches, including contested receptions near the goal line, where defenders like Brandon Codrington were forced to put up a tough fight. His ability to make plays in traffic and under pressure is exactly the kind of thing coaches look for when considering who deserves a roster spot. Despite these flashes, it is important to remember that Wilkerson has had limited NFL experience to date. Undrafted out of Southeast Missouri State back in 2020, he initially signed with the Tennessee Titans but struggled to find consistent playing time. Over his career, he has appeared in only 9 NFL games, 5 of those coming with the Las Vegas Raiders over the past 2 seasons. Even with that limited background, he has managed to crash the conversation in Buffalo's camp, a testament to his work ethic and determination. On the other side of the injury coin, Khalil Shakir, another key piece of the Bills' receiving puzzle, has been out with an ankle injury sustained during a recent practice. Shakir's absence has been felt deeply by the offense, as he posted career highs in receptions, targets, receiving yards, and touchdowns last season. The good news is that the coaching staff and medical team are optimistic about his return in time for the regular season opener against the Baltimore Ravens. Having Shakir back healthy will be a major boost for the Bills' aerial attack, especially with the early season schedule that includes a tough matchup right out of the gate. However, not all the injury news has been positive. On the defensive side of the ball, the Bills have faced setbacks in their secondary, particularly at the safety position. Taylor Rapp, who has dealt with a knee injury, is expected to be out for about a week, and Cole Bishop, despite being named a starter, has struggled through injuries that have limited his reps and ability to build chemistry during training camp. This is far from ideal considering the importance of safety play in the Bills' defensive scheme. Communication and timing are critical in that role, and missing valuable reps at this stage can cause challenges once the season begins. Head coach Sean McDermott has been transparent about these issues, acknowledging the obstacles the team faces as they head into their preseason opener against the New York Giants. While there's confidence that the team can handle short-term absences, there's a clear concern about what could happen if these injuries linger longer into the season. The secondary is a core unit, and the Bills' defense needs those safeties healthy and ready to perform to maintain the high level of play that fans have come to expect. The approach to managing the roster and these injuries reflects the Bills' priority to safeguard their key players, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. McDermott confirmed that Josh Allen will not see any playing time in the preseason, aiming to protect him from unnecessary risk and to ensure he is fully ready for the regular season grind. This cautious strategy is quite common among teams with franchise quarterbacks, balancing the need for preparation with injury avoidance. While this might disappoint fans eager to see Allen on the field sooner, the long-term benefits far outweigh the short-term desire for preseason excitement. As the Bills prepare for the season ahead, all eyes remain on how these storylines will develop. Will Wilkerson's quiet but impressive camp translate into a roster spot and meaningful contributions? Can Khalil Shakir return healthy and pick up where he left off? How will the defense adjust to the injury setbacks at safety? These questions linger, but what is clear is that Buffalo is actively navigating the challenges of roster building, injury management, and player development with an eye toward a competitive season. The atmosphere around the team is electric, the competition is fierce, and every practice and preseason snap matters in this battle to shape the Bills' identity for the year to come. The wide receiver room's depth has been tested by injuries to some of the team's more established players. Khalil Shakir's high ankle sprain during practice was a setback, but the team's medical staff is optimistic about his recovery timeline. Shakir's role in last season's offense was pivotal. He led the team in several receiving categories and consistently found ways to get open and make big plays downfield. His ability to stretch defenses vertically and provide a reliable target for Josh Allen makes his health a top priority. The coaching staff's plan to have him ready by week 1 reflects both his importance and the careful management needed to bring him back at full strength. On the defensive side, the situation at safety is more precarious. Taylor Rapp's knee injury and Cole Bishop's limited reps due to ongoing health concerns present challenges that the coaching staff cannot afford to ignore. The safety position is crucial in the Bills' defensive scheme, responsible not only for deep coverage, but also for run support and communication across the secondary. With both starters sidelined or limited, backups will be called upon to step up during the preseason and potentially early regular season. This places additional pressure on the defensive coordinator and coaching staff to adjust game plans and ensure the unit functions cohesively despite personnel changes. Head coach Sean McDermott's approach to managing these issues reflects a blend of pragmatism and ambition. His decision to keep Josh Allen off the field during the preseason, despite the understandable disappointment it causes among fans eager to see their star quarterback in action, is a calculated move to protect the team's most valuable asset. Allen's health is directly tied to the Bills' chances of contending for a championship, so limiting his exposure to injury in non-critical games aligns with a long-term vision. The preseason games themselves will serve as a proving ground for players on the roster bubble. Those like Wilkerson who have impressed during practice will look to translate their work into game situations, showing coaches that they can perform under pressure and contribute meaningfully when the stakes are higher. Special teams, often overlooked by casual observers, will be a critical area for these players to demonstrate value. The ability to make an impact on kickoff coverage, punt returns, and other phases can be the difference between making the team or being cut. While the Bills have generally avoided major injuries among their starting lineup, the ripple effects of even minor setbacks are felt across the team. The competition for snaps increases, and players who may have expected a limited role find themselves thrust into more prominent positions. This creates an environment where preparation, mental toughness, and adaptability are as important as raw talent. Coaches will be watching closely not just for physical performance, but for how players handle adversity and step up when called upon. Looking ahead to the regular season opener against the Baltimore Ravens, the importance of having a healthy and well-prepared roster cannot be overstated. The Ravens are known for their physical, aggressive style of play, and the Bills will need all their weapons firing on all cylinders to match that intensity. Having receivers like Shakir back, alongside emerging contributors such as Wilkerson, will give Josh Allen more options and help the offense maintain its dynamic edge. Defensively, the team will need to overcome the safety injuries by leaning on depth players and potentially adjusting schemes to protect vulnerable spots. Throughout training camp and into the preseason, the overarching narrative for the Bills is one of resilience and adaptation. Injuries are an unavoidable part of the sport, but how a team responds to them often defines their success. The coaching staff's emphasis on conditioning, injury prevention, and recovery protocols plays a critical role in this effort. Meanwhile, players on the fringe of the roster are seizing the moment, driven by the knowledge that every snap could be their ticket to a meaningful role in the regular season. For fans, the unfolding storylines offer both excitement and cautious optimism. The emergence of players like Wilkerson adds depth and intrigue to the roster, hinting at hidden gems that can contribute beyond the usual stars. The medical updates on Shakir and other injured players provide hope that the team will regain its full strength when it matters most. At the same time, the defensive challenges serve as a reminder that success is never guaranteed, and the Bills must remain vigilant and adaptable. As the preseason progresses, the Bills' front office and coaching staff will continue to evaluate every player and adjust their strategies accordingly. Decisions about the final roster cuts, practice squad assignments, and game plans will all hinge on performance, health, and fit within the team's culture and scheme. The intense competition within the wide receiver group exemplifies this process, where even players who entered quietly must prove they belong through effort and execution. Ultimately, the Bills are building toward more than just another season. They are aiming to solidify their status as perennial contenders. The balance of maintaining a competitive edge while managing the wear and tear on key players is a delicate one. The preseason serves as both a testing ground and a preparation phase, where lessons learned will shape the team's identity and approach. The ability of players like Wilkerson to rise to the occasion, the return of impact players like Shakir, and the defense's capacity to adapt will all be critical factors in determining how far this team can go. In this high-stakes environment, every practice, every drill, and every snap carries weight. For the Bills, the road to success is paved with hard work, smart decisions, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. The upcoming weeks will reveal which players have what it takes to contribute and which adjustments the team will need to make to thrive. For now, the story is still unfolding, and the excitement surrounding Buffalo's football future continues to grow with each passing day. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. The sports world erupted into a frenzy yesterday as the Buffalo Bills reportedly stunned fans and insiders alike by announcing the acquisition of Canadian star running back CHUBA Hubbard from the Carolina Panthers. While official confirmations remain scarce and details are murky, multiple sources suggest that this potential move could drastically alter the dynamics of the Bills' offense. Hubbard, who's been a standout player in the NFL despite the Panthers' fluctuating fortunes, has drawn attention for his explosive speed, vision on the field, and uncanny ability to evade defenders. Rumors suggest that the Bills' front office has been monitoring Hubbard for several months, quietly exploring trade options or incentive-laden contracts that could lure the talented Canadian away from Carolina. If this acquisition materializes, it could position Buffalo as an even more formidable force in the AFC, potentially reshaping playoff expectations. Fans have already begun speculating about how Hubbard's presence could relieve pressure on the Bills' quarterback, create new play-calling opportunities, and generate a level of excitement not seen in recent seasons. Analysts are weighing whether this is a strategic gamble or a calculated long-term investment, fueling endless debates on social media platforms, sports podcasts, and fan forums. The ripple effects of Hubbard potentially joining the Bills extend far beyond immediate game day tactics. Sports insiders are whispering that this move could spark a series of trades and roster adjustments, forcing other teams to reconsider their positions in the NFL hierarchy. Carolina Panthers fans are reportedly expressing mixed emotions, torn between pride in Hubbard's talent and disappointment at losing a player who has consistently delivered electrifying performances. Meanwhile, Buffalo appears to be signaling that it is fully committed to reshaping its offensive identity, potentially emphasizing a more versatile, high-tempo running game. Observers are speculating that Hubbard's Canadian roots and unique playing style could inject a new cultural and strategic energy into the Bills' locker room. This possible acquisition is already prompting analysts to create hypothetical scenarios. How might the offensive line adapt? Could Hubbard instantly become the centerpiece of the Bills' rushing attack? Which matchups in the upcoming season would be most affected? Fans, betting agencies, and fantasy football enthusiasts alike are digesting every whisper, interpreting every cryptic tweet from team insiders as a potential clue. The buzz surrounding Hubbard's name suggests that even if the deal remains in the rumor stage, the speculation itself is having a tangible impact on the NFL narrative. Should Hubbard officially sign with the Bills, the implications for Carolina could be profound, potentially forcing a reevaluation of the Panthers' draft strategy and long-term roster planning. Rumors are circulating that Carolina's management might be considering multiple trade packages in response, with other teams expressing interest in capitalizing on the uncertainty. Analysts are theorizing that the Panthers could pivot toward rebuilding around younger talent or acquiring high-value draft picks, depending on the final terms of Hubbard's potential move. Meanwhile, Buffalo could exploit this uncertainty to further negotiate advantageous conditions, such as performance-based incentives or contract extensions, ensuring that Hubbard's transition maximizes both team performance and marketability. Social media chatter is also speculating about how this move might impact team chemistry. Would Hubbard seamlessly integrate into the Bills' offensive schemes, or would adjustments be required to accommodate his particular running style? Pundits are predicting heated discussions during upcoming press conferences as journalists probe coaches and executives about the nuances of this rumored acquisition. With the NFL landscape already in flux due to injuries, free agent maneuvers, and emerging young stars, Hubbard's potential arrival in Buffalo is being framed as a storyline with national significance, prompting experts to debate every conceivable consequence across multiple platforms. From a marketing and fan engagement perspective, the chatter surrounding Hubbard's possible signing with the Bills is already generating measurable excitement. Merchandise speculation, social media trends, and potential endorsements are circulating faster than any official statement, reinforcing the narrative that this could be one of the most sensational moves of the season. Rumors hint that the Bills management may be strategically using the uncertainty to maximize hype, teasing announcements and interviews that keep fans engaged while negotiations continue behind closed doors. Sports media outlets are dissecting hypothetical plays, imagining how Hubbard's agility could influence red zone situations, third down conversions, and long drives across the field. The Canadian media has also reportedly picked up the story, with commentators praising Hubbard's skill set while pondering what it would mean for him to transition from Carolina to Buffalo. The interplay between speculation and potential reality is fueling a dramatic buildup, with fans forming their own projections, mock drafts, and what-if scenarios. Analysts note that even if the deal ultimately falls through, the narrative itself has already shifted public perception of both the Bills and the Panthers, highlighting how high-profile rumors can create a media frenzy and elevate a player's status almost instantaneously. Finally, the broader implications of Hubbard's rumored move to Buffalo are resonating across the NFL, creating a ripple effect that extends into strategy, fan loyalty, and league-wide anticipation. Pundits are speculating that rival teams may now adjust their defensive schemes preemptively, attempting to anticipate the combined impact of Hubbard's speed, elusiveness, and field vision. The Buffalo Bills fan base is reportedly abuzz with excitement, debating how this could change game outcomes, playoff positioning, and even the team's overall identity in the coming seasons. Meanwhile, insiders suggest that Hubbard himself could become a central figure in promotional campaigns, team culture-building initiatives, and leadership roles, leveraging his experience and Canadian roots to engage a broader audience. Rumors continue to swirl about contract specifics, bonus structures, and long-term commitments, with experts attempting to predict how all these variables could influence both performance and team morale. As speculation intensifies, the line between rumor and reality blurs, creating a dramatic and high-stakes narrative that has captivated the attention of football enthusiasts across the nation. Whether or not the deal is finalized, the mere possibility of Hubbard joining the Bills has already established itself as a defining conversation point in NFL circles, promising weeks of debate, anticipation, and passionate discussion. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.